Okay. Damming. Dice. Normal use writing. No particular wiggle. I think the big movement you get from it is when you stand and sit down. If you were to lean against it, it sits over about 1/4 of an inch and lean forward pretty easily. So you can just pull it back. Pretty simple too, but it does move. So depending on how you sit down, I think when I sit down, I tend to push a little bit, and it just moved 1/2 inch. Pretty simple to pull back. As far as left to right goes, a little bit of movement there. It's sturdy enough to play on. The inch taller it makes really is a bigger difference, and then this edge is a little comfortable on your arms, but the normal rail is also just very comfortable on your arms. I just have that strong edge there, so I don't know if there's a winner between those two. But yeah, when you lean on it, it inches forwards just a little bit. Really, the space is more of a question than the motion, and also the money, obviously. The rail on the game deck isn't super useful, but the card holder is kind of nice. And then I actually just like having a different thing over here to put things into. Is kind of nice for storage on the other game deck. I showed that in pictures, but in general, if you're trying to save like the $500, it's probably not worth a $500 upgrade, but I do prefer the game deck overall. It's enough space for me. If I had a laptop though, see, I just reached for something and it just moved a little bit. Of course, you wouldn't reach like this because you'd have the DM screen usually. But I guess if you were reaching to adjust to mini in the middle of the table, you definitely potentially hit it with your legs and it would just scoot forward that 1/2 inch. And let me just change the camera angle so you can see that 1/2 inch as well from this angle. So you can see here that normally the topper sits over, there we go, it sits over about 1/2 inch on the end there. And then just from standing and reaching, pretty easy to just nudge that so it's more flush. I mean, it could just live right here too, but then you just have a little bit of moment. I can't just push down and move it, but just a very slight force, and it'll move back and forth that way. As far as the left to right, it, it must already be that way. It just has a small amount of movement there. It's nothing too dramatic. It's pretty sturdy.